A toxic person, or someone on the narcissistic spectrum, is someone who lacks the ability to have empathy for others and has a high need to manipulate and control others in order to feel safe. Anyone can show toxic and unhealthy behavior, so I hope by making this video I can help someone become aware if they find themselves in the middle of this toxic soup. Once you become conscious of someone in your life that may be doing this to you, you can choose how you want to deal with it. A narcissist or somebody who is toxic will use a strategy called triangulation, and it's one of their forms of manipulation. It happens when one person does not directly communicate with another, but rather uses a third party to communicate through to the second one. And this forms a triangle between three people. So basically, the narcissist brings a third party into the relationship and not for fun and games. In this video, we will learn how to recognize, understand, and how to deal with someone who may be using triangulation on you. Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is Carrie Cox, and welcome to my channel where we learn how to use our personal power to build a connection between our mind, body, and spirit. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and smash that bell notification button so YouTube will notify you when I release future videos. Dr. Ramani, a professor from the University of California, says that triangulation is a psychological threesome that you did not sign up for. An example of this is when one parent uses their child to form an abusive triangle with an ex-spouse. Often a family member will use this toxic plan and put themselves between two other family members as a way to control the dynamic. If two family members are being pitted against one another and they don't talk to compare stories or let the other person know what is being said about them, then they may not realize the game that the narcissist is playing with them. It's a very disturbing thing that a person is capable, but remember, they lack empathy for other people. A narcissistic parent may use this to control and manipulate members of a family. A parent will often pit two siblings against one another. They may use this to tell lies, and they will often badmouth and spread lies about a family member to other relatives, which creates a lot of negative energy and a lot of chaotic energy. And it's a sort of emotional bullying. You can get caught up in the middle of this knowingly or unknowingly. It's important to recognize that this is happening to you because it can drive a wedge between you and other people. And you all may be innocent victims at the hand of a narcissistic person. And before you know it, you may even end up being the narcissist's flying monkey. Narcissistic moms will often do this to their children because of the special bond that moms will have with their kids. They will usually choose a scapegoat and a golden child, and this will divide the kids. It will separate them into good kids and bad kids. And these moms will use triangulation to get her kids to love her more and pay more attention to her. And to do this, she will create lies and exaggerated stories to tell other family members and even the children things about their father that aren't true. This way, the kids will love her more than their dad. She will tend to be a little nervous when the children and their dad spend time together because she will be afraid that her lies will be found out. But if they are found out, she will just deny and lie more about it so that she doesn't get caught. So why does a narcissistic person or a toxic person use something like triangulation? Well, these people are unhealthy and they don't know how to have healthy relationships, so they are acting impulsively by reacting to their own internal struggles, and those struggles run very deep within them. They will act out in cruel and malicious ways. So it's important to not ignore if something like this is being done to you. How do we stop triangulation if it is happening to us? Well, we can learn to outsmart the narcissist. It is a learned skill, and it is best to learn as much about narcissistic people and unhealthy people, maybe toxic people, so that you are armed with the knowledge. You cannot expect the narcissist to change because they can't change. They can't even see their own faults or take blame for the things they did. Now, they can take blame when they have to because they're about to lose somebody close to them. They can say what they need to say in a moment to get what they want. But for the most part, if you watch their actions most of the time, they will often always be blaming other people. So the first thing, if you think triangulation is happening to you, is to not fall for their trap. If you give in to the narcissist's needs, you are giving into what is called narcissistic supply. They need daily supply in order to feel better about themselves. They won't end the abuse, they'll just continue to drain your energy from you until there's nothing left. If you react to them, if you chase them, if you seek their approval, then you're reinforcing their behavior. Giving into their behavior does not stop the abuse. Next, you need to realize that this is even happening to you. Many times, the narcissist in our life may be called what's a covert narcissist. And a covert narcissist is harder to spot than the overt narcissist. The overt narcissist is bold and in your face and arrogant and pretty aggressive, but the covert narcissist is more of someone who's more in that victim mentality, someone who's a little more subtle, who keeps it hidden. And so you have to look for the signs that this person's in your life. So look around at the different circumstances of your life. Does a parent treat a sibling differently than they do you? Is there favoritism in the home or in the workplace? Are you being disempowered or belittled by somebody over and over again? The next way to stop triangulation is not to react to this person. This is exactly what they want you to do. They want you to act. They want you to get emotional. They want you to lose control because this is how they gain supply from you. And this one is probably the hardest one to do because you have to stay calm, you have to keep your cool, and you cannot react when they are name calling you, putting you down, belittling you, and trying to take your power from you. You will want to defend yourself because they will take very low jabs and they will say things that aren't even true. So you are going to want to react to defend yourself. But this is what they want, because once you react, they can now shift the conversation to how badly you are treating them and how badly you are reacting to them. They want to shift the blame back on you so that it's your fault that the conversation is going this way. So the best thing to do is remain calm and steer the conversation back to the topic at hand. They will want to try to move the conversation away from something. If you're having a discussion on something that they don't agree with or they don't want to give into, they're going to try to divert the conversation by flipping out on you so that now the conversation can look more on how bad you are acting instead of how bad they were acting to push you to act that way. It's very hard to ignore someone who is cutting you down and demeaning you, but you can respond back with something like, "You are entitled to your opinion," or "Stick to the topic at hand," or "I'm going to end this conversation." The next thing to do in order to handle a narcissist and their manipulation tactics is to try meditation. Meditation is a great way to learn how to calm your body, calm your breath, and calm that autonomic nervous system that may be triggering when in conversation with the narcissist or when in dealing with the narcissist. You may start to get a racing heartbeat, or your breath may start to get rapid. You may start to get bad stomach pains in your stomach. All of these things are symptoms of our nervous system going into sympathetic nervous system and our fight and flight being triggered because we are being triggered by that person. So when these things start to happen, we can use breath work to regulate our breath and to start to control our body. And the more and more we practice meditation, the easier it gets to control our body when we are finding ourselves in these situations. There are a lot of negative effects that can happen from our body continuously being triggered into fight and flight. So using daily meditation is a great way to combat that. Even starting some yoga or some moving meditation, anything where you're going to find some inner peace and calmness. The next way to avoid triangulation is to leave the triangle when you realize you are part of the triangle. You need to look over your own sanity and your mental health. If you're in a situation like this, please get help. Whether that help is from friends and family in a support group, a therapist, or even a lawyer, seek out any additional help that you have in dealing with this situation, because it's a very toxic situation and it's not easy to deal with. I have several friends who have a narcissistic person in their life, and sometimes we get together just to share stories about that narcissist in our life. Sometimes just venting and talking about your circumstances and what you're going through is an important thing to have, especially when the narcissistic person or the toxic person will try to pit your own family and friends against you. You need to let them know what's going on so that they are well aware when this person is up to their games, then they are aware not to fall for the tricks. It's best to have transparency. I'm open and transparent. I would show anybody any communications I've had with my narcissist if that's what it meant to show people what's really going on. So the more transparent you are with other people, the more they can help you. And lastly, what we need to do to arm ourselves against somebody who's using triangulation against us is to learn how to separate your feelings, thoughts, and emotions from other people. Because narcissists, they like to use the empathic person as their victim. And empathic people are capable of feeling other people's emotions and thoughts and feelings. And empathic people also, when they're not aware of their energy, sometimes will take on the energy, the negative energy that the narcissist is emitting. So it can end up being physically toxic, mentally toxic, and emotionally toxic. It can start to mess with our energy field. We could start to feel bad energy, negative energy, and bad moods when our mood has no reason to shift or change because we are picking up the energy that that narcissist is emitting. You need to learn how to protect your mind, your body, and your spirit from these types of people. And most importantly, you need to learn how to take your power back and hold on to it very tightly. Thank you, my beautiful friends. Have a blessed and beautiful day. And namaste.